Okay, can we talk about the ATP stuff?
The 4 energy sources?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So there's 4. The first one is just existing ATP. So it's what's already there, what's sitting around in the cell. You know, ATP that's sitting around the cell gets used first.
It's just, there's just some always
There's
hanging out.
just some always there.
Okay.
Just. Next one is a molecule called creatine phosphate, which all you need to know about that is that it's a molecule that can be broken down to make ATP.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah,
Okay.
about that. Now these last 2 are the 2 that you need to know a little bit more about.
Okay.
There is aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So what does aerobic mean? Do you know? It's okay. It means it needs oxygen. Aerobic means it needs oxygen. Anaerobic then would be the opposite, no oxygen. So aerobic respiration is very, very efficient. When you add oxygen to that chemical reaction, it's able to make a lot more ATP per glucose. In fact, it makes 36 ATP per glucose.
Okay. So here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
How can you do anything without oxygen? You're breathing all the time.
You are breathing all the time, but you can. They can do a chemical reaction. Your body can, and make ATP without it. You won't last very long because the difference of per glucose molecule you make 2 ATP.
But how does it not get oxygen?
So
Or
when
why
you're
would you? Or why would you? With that not being sufficient, why would that even be a thing? Because you're always breathing, so there's always oxygen.
There's not always enough. So your brain uses a lot of oxygen. That's the part that will die first if you lack oxygen. Is your brain needs glucose and oxygen all the time.
Okay.
But your muscles, if we're talking about your muscles, so if I start off running, I can start off at a great pace. You know, I'm doing well, and all of a sudden I start panting. I'm like, you know, I need to get that air. So my muscles are trying to do aerobic respiration, so they're begging for more oxygen. And then I'm using my muscles at a rate that's faster than the oxygen. Yeah. And so all of a sudden my body goes, you know what? I know it's not efficient, but we have to switch to this. And so I actually use more glucose, more of my food to make ATP because I have to use more of it. Obviously, 36 compared to 2. You know, this is very inefficient compared to that.
So pretty much the anaerobic is because you've oxygen starved your muscles. It's not that they would choose to do that, but there isn't oxygen to be had.
Exactly. And this anaerobic is what makes lactic acid build up. Because a byproduct of our anaerobic respiration is lactic acid. So you know that burning, cramping feeling you get in your muscles? It's because of this. So your body doesn't like doing anaerobic. You don't like your body doing anaerobic. It doesn't feel good. But the reason why people will say you got to push through this point for when you're working out is because if you're trying to lose weight, think about the glucose storage in the fat. So if you push past this point, all of a sudden you have to use a lot of glucose, and so your body is pulling from those fat stores like, okay, we need to get in all this glucose we can. So this is when you start burning fat and calories because it's like, okay, take in all this glucose that we have. So, but your body, like us right now, we're both doing aerobic respiration just because, you know, we're not working extremely hard. It's more efficient. Our body would rather go through this process. But if it doesn't have time to do this process, it has to switch to this. If the rate of us using our muscles is faster than
The amount of oxygen.
then everybody switches to that.
That makes more sense now, because he kept talking about it's not efficient, you don't wanna do it, I'm like, then why
Yeah.
do we do it?
Yeah, no, you don't, your body doesn't want to do it, but the reason you do it is, like, it's the same idea, the body will sacrifice efficiency and stuff if it needs to be done. Like, if you're using your muscles so much so that you're like, okay, we need this energy no matter what, then yeah, you're gonna go to anaerobic.